All right, everybody, let's talk about something that silently strangles a lot of businesses. It's not bad products. It's not bad people. It's not even bad timing. It's hesitation. It's that invisible pause. It's that slow drip of indecision, the delay that feels totally justifiable in the moment, but it compounds into missed opportunities, stalled teams, and even eroded trust. Now, most leaders don't crash from bad decisions. They erode from no decisions. Here's what makes that so dangerous. Paralysis often wears the disguise of wisdom. It hides behind, I'm just gathering more data, or I'm just waiting for the right time. And it pretends to be thoughtful, strategic, and mature. But underneath all that, it's fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of what people will think, fear of breaking something that's technically working, even if it's not working well. Paralysis doesn't scream, it whispers. It says, just wait a little bit longer, play it safe, stay comfortable, and try to avoid the fallout. And that whisper, it costs people millions. Not always in money, but in time, clarity, team buy-in, and even brand momentum. So today we're going to name it, because you can't shift what you won't confront. And if you want empowerment design to truly work, you have to understand nothing kills growth faster than leadership that's stuck in limbo. Now, there's a myth first that we need to shatter, and it's the myth that all great leaders always feel certain, that the best decisions are made with full clarity and full consensus, that confidence always shows up first and then you move. My friends, that's wrong. It's actually backwards. Confidence doesn't precede the decision. It follows it. So if you've been waiting for certainty before you commit, you're going to wait forever because certainty is just a mirage. What you actually need is clarity of intent and alignment with values. And when you have those two things, you can move forward, even if the outcome is still unfolding. Think about the cost of hesitation for just a second. You have a key hire that's just sitting in limbo because you can't decide which role you want to fill first. So the workload starts piling up and your existing team burns out. And then you spend triple the amount of time fixing the preventable problems. Or you've been thinking about rebranding, but you're waiting until the timing is perfect, right? Meanwhile, your message gets murkier and your audience loses interest. And someone else says exactly what you were meant to say, but they say it louder and earlier than you. Or maybe you have a team member who's not fully aligned. You've known it for months, but you're trying to give it more time, more coaching, more benefit of the doubt. All good things for sure. But in that time, your culture takes a hit and your A players, they lose their energy. So your standards start slipping. Do you see how it works? When you delay a decision, the decision doesn't disappear. It gets made for you by default, by drift, by erosion. And often you're the last one to notice because everyone else around you already feels the fog. They're probably waiting for you to act. They need direction, but you're caught in your head, rehearsing every possible outcome, trying to perfect the move before you even make it. Leadership is not about perfect decisions. It's about decisive direction followed by adaptive learning. You make the best call that you can with what you know now, and then you listen, you adjust, you refine, but you have to move. That's the essence of WaveMaker. It's not about bravado. It's about charging ahead. It's not about charging ahead recklessly, but it is about building leadership identity that can hold tension, assess risk, and still take some action. And the ripple effect of indecision is way bigger than you think. When a leader hesitates, it actually creates anxiety within the system. People will start second guessing themselves. They're going to wait instead of initiating, and they avoid accountability because they're afraid of making the wrong call too. So you don't just freeze your own movement, you freeze everyone else's. Now, I want to talk directly to those of you who feel this tension in your gut. I felt it. You've got a decision sitting right in front of you, right now. You know what it is. You've probably journaled about it. You've talked to several friends about it. You've maybe even made a pros and cons list. You've meditated, prayed, asked for a sign, and still you haven't moved. What are you really afraid of? Not just the failure. That's surface level. I want you to go deeper. Are you afraid of being seen as impulsive, as irresponsible, as too aggressive? Are you afraid it won't be perfect and that people are going to judge you? Are you afraid it'll work and then you're going to have to rise to meet that next version of yourself. That last one gets more leaders than you'd think. Because sometimes the fear isn't failure, it's expansion. It's the responsibility that comes with success. It's the pressure to sustain the win after you've made the leap. My friends, that's where empowerment design becomes more than a business model. It actually becomes a mirror. Because the thing is, decision-making isn't just a strategy. It's a leadership identity issue. You have to see yourself as someone capable of making wise decisions. Someone who doesn't flinch at the unknown, and someone who trusts their alignment more than their need for applause or recognition. Let me tell you about a leader I worked with. We're going to call her Melissa. Melissa ran a growing service-based company. She had great vision. She had rock-solid values and a killer team. But she'd freeze anytime a big decision hit her desk. So she'd delay hiring. She'd delay launching. She was delaying restructuring. She was just always waiting for the right time. And she told herself that that was caution, but underneath, it was perfectionism. It was fear of leading out and then being wrong. So we did the real work, not just strategic, but personal, and retraced where that fear of being wrong actually came from. And then we built new language around what decisiveness meant to her. We practiced making low-stake decisions quickly, with clarity and with grace. Then we moved to medium stakes, and then to high stakes. And something totally amazing and cool actually started happening. The faster she started making aligned decisions, the more her team began to thrive. They trusted her. They actually moved with her. And then they brought ideas to the table without any hesitation. So the culture shifted from cautious compliance to creative commitment. And Melissa didn't become reckless. She became rooted, clear, capable, and most importantly, free to move. Because indecision isn't a form, indecision is just a form of self-imprisonment. You lock yourself in a waiting room that no one else can open. And WaveMaker is about handing you the keys to your own confidence. It's about helping you understand how your frequency, your actual internal leadership rhythm either speeds up or slows down the energy of your business. And when your frequency is cloudy, everything stalls. But when it's clear, decisions flow and movement happens. Growth starts accelerating. So if you've been stuck in analysis paralysis, if your team's momentum is lagging, if your vision feels distant because your decisions keep getting delayed, this is your turning point. You don't need more time. You need more trust. Trust in your values. Trust in your intention. Trust in your ability to adjust after the move, not just before it. Because you're going to get things wrong. That's part of leadership. But getting it wrong is totally recoverable. Staying stuck is not. The best leaders I know make aligned decisions, not perfect ones. They're not always the smartest in the room, but they're the most anchored. They know who they are. They know where they're going. And they decide again and again and again on purpose. So here's how you can start. I want you to think about a decision that you've been avoiding. It can be big, it can be small, it can be business, it can be personal. One that's quietly draining your energy just by lingering on that mental to-do list. And I want you to take 10 minutes, reconnect to your vision, reconnect to your values, to what you already know deep down, and then decide today, even if it's just the first step, even if it's just saying it out loud, I want you to make some movement, because clarity doesn't come from waiting. It comes from moving in alignment. And when you start to build that muscle, everything's going to shift. You're going to start trusting yourself more. Your team starts moving with more confidence. Your brand starts radiating strength. And that's what step 7 is really all about. Paralysis kills growth, but decisiveness, that's how you spark it, sustain it, scale it. So don't sit on this. Don't wait for everything to be perfectly lined up in a row. Start where you are. Have the clarity you have and move. Because the most powerful version of you is not cautious. It's clear. WaveMaker doesn't just train you to make better decisions. It trains you to become the kind of leader who doesn't outsource their power, who doesn't need external permission, who leads forward with courage, empathy, and conviction. This is the work that builds legacy. Listen, if this stirred something in you, just DM me the word decide, and I will send you our WaveMaker Decision Map. It's a tool that we use to help founders make fast, values-aligned decisions that don't stall their growth. And don't miss the next live on Friday, because we're going to go even deeper into how to build this decisiveness into your actual current rhythm. Frameworks, patterns, phrases, and most importantly, presence. So let's stop spinning, let's start deciding, and let's build something that lasts together. See you guys on Friday.